Okay, so
Yeah.
you know how sometimes you hear these stories and you're like, whoa, what is going on here?
Yeah.
Like whispers about the legal system maybe not working quite right.
Yeah.
And today we're going to like jump right into one of those situations. But
Okay.
it seems like it's way more than just, a little slip up or something.
Right.
We've got some pretty intense material.
Yeah.
And honestly, it's pretty disturbing.
Okay.
So we've got a script here, and it's detailing some really serious accusations
Mm-hmm.
against this court-appointed attorney in Maine,
Okay.
a guy named Robert VANHORN.
Right.
And get this, we also have a song
Oh, wow.
that seems to be, like, directly inspired by all these allegations.
Interesting. So we've got like evidence and artistic interpretation all in one.
Yeah, it's a lot to unpack.
It really is.
So
yeah.
basically, it's all painting this really concerning picture.
Yeah, I mean, just from the get-go.
Right.
We're talking about claims of, like, behavior that, if it's true, totally goes against the whole point of what a lawyer is supposed to do.
Say that.
That's what we're going to try to do today in this deep dive. We're
Yeah.
going to, like, break down all these accusations and, like, figure out what they could mean for the bigger system. Like,
Exactly.
does this go beyond just this one guy? And also, what does the source material, like, what does it tell us needs to happen as a response?
Yeah, are there calls to action?
Yeah, exactly.
Specific things people want to see done.
Totally.
All right, let's get into it.
Okay, so first up, who is this Robert VANHORN?
Okay.
So he is presented as this court-appointed attorney in Maine. And, I mean, that's a huge responsibility, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Because you're supposed to be the one to, like, guide people through this whole legal system, which can be really scary and confusing.
Especially for someone who's never had to deal with it before.
Totally.
Yeah.
But the script does not hold back at all.
Really?
It straight up calls him, like, synonymous with failure and betrayal.
Whoa.
I mean, that's a pretty rough judgment right there. It's intense. And, it gets right to the point.
Yeah.
The script's saying this is not just like a one-off thing.
Right.
This is a pattern of behavior.
Okay.
And it's a pattern that's hurting people.
So it's not just like incompetence. It's like...
It's like crossing the line.
Yeah. And it's doing real damage.
Exactly. It's having really negative effects on his clients' lives.
And then when you actually get into the details...
Oh, yeah.
The script starts listing, like, specific things. And it's crazy.
Okay, so what are we talking about here?
Well, he, like, talks directly to you, the listener.
Interesting.
And asks you to imagine, like, having a lawyer who just doesn't do their job.
Wow.
Like the basic stuff.
Yeah, like what a...
So they're talking about no preparation.
Okay.
Like blatant disregard for ethical standards.
So not even trying to follow the rules?
Yeah, pretty much.
That's bad.
And then it gets even more specific.
Okay.
They're saying he doesn't return client calls.
That's so unprofessional.
Right?
And also really damaging to the case.
Totally.
Like your client needs to be able to reach you.
Yeah.
Come on.
And then missing super important deadlines.
Oh, no.
Which, I mean, that could totally tank a case, right?
Oh, absolutely.
And this is the one that, like, really blew my mind.
What is it?
They're saying that he didn't even bother to investigate
what?
The basic facts of the case.
So he's just, like, going in blind.
Yeah, basically.
That's unbelievable.
Right.
Like, how do you even defend someone if you don't know what's going on?
Exactly.
That's just wild.
So the script is making this point that these aren't, like, little mistakes. These are, like, huge breaches of what a lawyer is supposed to do for their client.
Right. It's like a total failure of their duty.
Yeah, and they use this analogy that I thought was really powerful.
What's that?
They're like, imagine you get assigned a lawyer who just doesn't fight for you at all.
Wow.
Doesn't advocate for you.
Yeah.
It's like the opposite of what you need.
Totally. Like, it defeats the whole purpose.
Right.
It's like being offered help, but the help is actually hurting you.
Exactly.
That's a terrible situation to be in.
And then the script takes this turn.
Okay.
That's, like, even more suspicious.
Oh, okay.
They bring up this thing about the Ellsworth American newspaper
Right.
and how they redesign their website.
What does that have to do with anything?
So that's where it gets interesting.
Yeah.
Because the script is saying that this redesign was done on purpose to, like, hide certain articles.
Really?
And what kind of articles, you might ask?
I'm listening.
Articles that were critical of the legal system.
Oh, wow.
Like stuff about criminal charges and inadequate legal representation.
So basically anything that would make the system look bad.
Exactly.
They're trying to sweep it under the rug.
Yeah, that's what they're suggesting.
That's a huge accusation.
Right.
Like a cover-up.
Totally. So now it's not just about this one guy.
Yeah. It's about the whole system, potentially.
Right. Like maybe the whole system is trying to protect itself.
That's really troubling.
Yeah, it is.
So what else does the script say?
So then it gives us like this whole list of what it calls signs of malpractice.
Oh, so it's like a guide for people.
Yeah. Like if you're wondering if this has happened to you, here's what to look for.
Okay, I'm all ears.
So they say one of the signs is bad communication.
Like what kind of bad communication?
Like totally ignoring your client.
Really?
Like if they're trying to get in touch,
Right.
like they're not responding at all.
That's just basic professional courtesy.
I know, right?
It's crazy that that would even be an issue.
And then lack of preparation.
Okay.
So they talk about like sloppy courtroom appearances.
Oh,
like, you know, not being organized.
Yeah, not having your stuff together.
Yeah.
That does not inspire confidence.
And failing to investigate important evidence.
Again, how are you supposed to do your job if you don't have all the facts?
Right.
That's just mind-boggling.
And, of course, missing deadlines.
Right. We talked about that. Huge red flag.
And then, get this.
Okay.
They say that sometimes the lawyer's arguments actually seem to help the prosecution.
What?
Like, instead of helping their own client.
Like, they were working for the other side.
Yeah, basically.
That's insane.
I know.
Like, how is that even possible?
So the script calls all these things catastrophic failures that ruin lives.
It's a very strong statement.
It is.
But, I mean, if it's true,
right,
it's hard to argue with that assessment.
And this all leads into this idea of, like, bigger problems in the system.
Right. It's not just about this one guy.
Yeah, and honestly, that's, like, the scariest part of all of this.
It is, because if it's systemic,
yeah,
then it could be happening all over the place.
Exactly.
And that means a lot of people could be getting hurt.
So the script is saying that VANHORN's alleged incompetence isn't just like a random thing.
Right.
It's part of a bigger problem in Maine's judicial system.
Oh, wow. So it's like a symptom of a deeper issue.
Yeah, and they go even further.
Well,
they say that there's like collusion going on.
Collusion? Like, what are we talking about?
Between some attorneys and judges.
So they're working together.
Yeah, and the script says that they're doing this to like silence the truth.
Wow.
And exploit people who don't have power.
That's a really serious accusation.
It is.
It's like corruption.
Yeah, basically.
If that's true, that's a huge deal.
And then they also bring up these things called Brady violations.
Oh, so now those are very specific.
Yeah, so for people who might not know.
Yeah, because not everyone's a lawyer.
Right.
So what are Brady violations?
So it's basically when the prosecution, like the people who are trying to prove someone is guilty,
right,
they don't give the defendant...
A person who's accused of the crime.
Yeah.
Okay.
They don't give them evidence that could help them.
Oh, wow. So they're hiding evidence that could prove the person is innocent.
Yeah, and the script is saying that this is happening on purpose.
Oh, so it's not just a mistake.
Right.
It's like deliberate withholding of evidence.
Yeah. Yeah, and they're saying it's illegal.
Which it is.
Right.
That's a huge violation of someone's rights.
Totally.
It's like the opposite of a fair trial.
So the script is painting this picture of like, not just incompetence,
right,
but like actual misconduct at multiple levels of the system.
Yeah, that's really scary.
It is.
Because it makes you wonder, like,
yeah,
who can you trust?
And so with all these accusations, it makes sense that the script ends with like a call to action.
Okay, so what do they want people to do?
They're saying if you think you've been hurt by this guy,
by Robert VANHORN,
I
need to take action.
So what are the steps?
So first they say you got to write a detailed affidavit.
Okay, so that's like a sworn statement.
Yeah, basically.
Where you lay out everything that happened to you.
Exactly. And then you got to gather all the evidence you can.
Oh, got evidence.
Emails, transcripts, court documents.
Anything that supports your story.
Yeah.
Okay,
and then you have to file a formal complaint. With who?
With the Maine State Bar Association.
So that's like the organization that oversees lawyers.
Exactly.
And make sure they're following the rules.
Right. Okay.
And they say you got to send it by certified mail.
So you have proof that they received it.
Exactly. So they're saying the whole point of this is to hold VANHORN accountable.
They want him to face consequences for his actions.
Yeah, and they want him to be disbarred.
So that means he can't practice law anymore.
Right.
That's a big deal.
And it's not just aimed at, like, his former clients.
No.
They're calling on, like, victims, advocates, anyone who cares about this.
To join the fight.
Yeah.
They want to make a big stink about this.
Yeah. They want to make it clear that this is not okay.
So it's like a collective effort
Totally.
to change the system.
Yeah.
Wow. It's pretty inspiring.
It is.
People coming together to fight for justice.
And then we have this song.
Oh, yeah, the song.
Which is like a whole other layer to this.
It is. It's like the emotional side of the story.
So what's the song like?
Well, it's not every day you find a song that's like inspired by a legal malpractice case.
That's pretty unique.
Yeah.
So what's the song about?
Well, it's called Dark Twisted Show.
Okay. Already I'm intrigued.
And it mentions Robert VANHORN right in the first line.
Wow. So it's like directly about him.
Yeah.
What else does it say?
Well, what really stood out to me
Yeah.
is how it takes all those accusations from the script and like turns them into something really raw and emotional.
Yeah, like music can do that.
Yeah.
It can tap into those feelings.
And there's this line that's like, courtrooms filled with failure, lives thrown away.
Oh, wow.
And that like directly connects back to what the script was saying.
Right, about the impact of VANHORN's actions.
Yeah, like how they actually hurt people.
And ruin their lives.
Exactly.
So the song's like giving voice to those victims.
Yeah, and there's this feeling of like betrayal too.
Oh, yeah.
Like this idea that he took an oath.
To uphold the law and protect his clients.
Right, but then he didn't care about the consequences.
For the people he was supposed to be helping.
Yeah, and it gets really specific too.
Okay.
Like it talks about him hiding in the shadows with his lies and having no shame.
And contributing to a broken system.
Right, it's like a full-on attack.
Yeah, it's like a public shaming.
Totally. And then there's this part that repeats over and over.
What's that?
It's like, Despicable Man. Your name's in the game, Robert VANHORN. You bring nothing to shame.
Wow.
It's intense.
It's like a condemnation.
Yeah.
It's like they're saying, we see you.
Right.
We know what you've done.
And we're not going to let you get away with it.
Oh, powerful stuff.
And then it goes on to list all those specific accusations from the script.
Oh, wow. So it's like a musical version of the allegations.
Yeah.
What kind of things does it mention?
Like missed deadlines, ignoring calls, not investigating cases.
And putting his own interests ahead of justice.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's not just vague feelings.
Right.
It's tied to specific claims of wrongdoing.
And then the song also has its own call to action.
Oh, really?
Right.
So it's not just about expressing anger and sadness.
No, it's like a rallying cry.
So what are they calling for?
Well, there are these lines like, time's up in this game, tear down the wall,
Okay.
and expose the light and hold you to blame.
Wow. That's powerful.
It is.
It's like they're saying, we're not going to stay silent anymore.
Exactly.
We're going to fight back.
And it's interesting how like art can do that.
Right.
Like it can take these serious issues and make them connect with people on a really emotional level.
Totally. Like it can make it more real for people.
Yeah.
And inspire them to take action.
Exactly.
Like a form of protest.
Yeah.
Through music.
So if we look at both the script and the song,
okay,
what's like the main takeaway here?
I mean, the big thing is that they're both accusing this guy, Robert VANHORN, of serious legal malpractice.
Right.
And they're saying he's incompetent, unethical.
Yeah.
And that he doesn't care about his clients.
And they're also saying that this isn't just about him.
Right. It's about the system, too.
Like there might be something wrong with the whole system.
Yeah, like corruption.
And cover-ups.
Exactly.
And they're both like really pushing for people to do something about it.
They want people to speak out.
Yeah, and hold them accountable.
And they want him to be disbarred.
So he can't hurt anyone else.
Powerful stuff.
It is.
It really makes you think.
And for anyone listening who thinks this might have happened to them,
yeah,
the script lays out those steps.
Right, like what to do.
Write that affidavit.
Gather your evidence.
File that complaint.
And send it certified mail.
So if you're out there and you've been affected by this, you're not alone.
And there are things you can do.
Exactly.
It's really important to know that.
So this whole deep dive,
yeah,
it leaves us with some pretty big questions.
Like what?
If all these accusations are true, what does that say about the legal system?
Right, like are the checks and balances working?
Yeah.
Is there real accountability?
And what about the people who are like most vulnerable? The ones who really need the system to work for them.
Yeah, the ones who are relying on the system to protect them.
Exactly.
That's a really important question.
It is.
Because if the system is failing them, that's a huge problem.
It is.
And it needs to be fixed.
Totally. So that's something to think about.
It is.
For everyone.
Yeah, this is something we all need to be concerned about.
Absolutely.
Because justice should be for everyone.
It should.
Not just for the powerful.
No.
And we need to make sure that's the case.
Yeah.
So let's keep talking about this.
Let's keep the conversation going.
Yeah, let's raise awareness.
And fight for a better system.
Absolutely.
Because everyone deserves justice.
Everyone.
That's it for this deep dive.
Thanks for listening.
We'll see you next time.
Steel boots on a marble floor, he walks in slow, but he ain't the law. Justice bends when he's around, truth gets buried underground. He's got that smile like nothing's wrong, but the damage echoes like a thunder song. Despicable Maine, where silence screams, where Robert VANHORN haunts your dreams. Misconduct walking, papers burning, rights denied, and no returning. Despicable Maine, yeah, it's insane, with VANHORN's name in the Hall of Shame. Deadline missed, another soul crushed, client's voice ignored and hushed. Didn't fight, didn't call, left him hanging at the fall. Swore an oath, then broke it twice, sold him out for a silent price. Despicable Maine, where silence screams, where Robert VANHORN haunts your dreams. Misconduct walking, papers burning, rights denied, and no returning. Despicable Maine, yeah, it's insane, with VANHORN's name in the Hall of Shame. Deadline missed, another soul crushed, client's voice ignored and hushed. Didn't fight, didn't call, left him hanging at the fall. Swore an oath and broke it twice, sold him out for a silent price. Despicable Maine, where hope decays, VANHORN's shadow blocks the rays. Misconduct walking, justice bleeding, truth is trapped and mercy's bleeding. Despicable Maine, can't explain how a man like that still rides the train. Elsewhere papers redesigned, hiding trails they hope you won't find. Brady truth locked away in dark back rooms where demons play. System shields, the lies remain, cover for the crown of Despicable Maine. No prep, no fight, no care at all, letting broken innocence fall. The prosecutor's friend in disguise, wearing justice like a cheap disguise. He ain't the hero in the room, he's the architect of legal doom. Despicable Maine, where the gavel shakes, where VANHORN's ghost never breaks. Misconduct walking cold and hollow, left no truth for us to follow. Despicable Maine, stars number fame, every step is soaked in pain. So if you hear his name at night, raise your voice and start the fight. He may be walking slick and slide, but we won't let this story die. Despicable Maine, scream the refrain, we won't forget the bloodstained shame. Robert VANHORN, misconduct walking through Despicable Maine.